Welcome, focused learners. 欢迎来到我们的4倍备考课堂. Today, we're targeting a really specific area where so many highly proficient English speakers accidentally just throw away valuable test points. We're talking about mastering English tone, and specifically, the Canadian cultural context. Listen, if you've ever walked out of a test feeling like, hey, my grammar was absolutely perfect, but then your scores just didn't reflect it at all, you're in the exact right place. Today, we're going to master what we call the context switching toolbox, or 语境切换工具箱.
So, why do candidates actually lose points? Well, it rarely comes down to just a spelling mistake or a basic grammar error. The main traps hiding in the CELPIP exam are vocabulary misalignment, which is 词汇错误, and overly direct phrasing, or 过于直接的表达. You might be using a perfectly good dictionary-correct English word, but if it's literally the wrong word for your specific audience, the grader is going to penalize you.
To fix this, we are pulling from some incredibly powerful source material today. Think of this as a strategic cheat sheet straight from Module 3, the Shortcuts Dimension, or 捷径维度. It's specifically designed to help candidates rapidly build totally accurate context during the exam. We're going to extract the core strategies from this document right now, so you can apply them immediately.
Okay, let's dive into this. We're covering 3 modular tools today: email shortcut templates, vocabulary scaling strategies, and Canadian-style euphemisms.
Let's start right off with our first tool, email shortcut templates. The whole secret here is that you absolutely must set the exact right tone from the very first and the very last words of your email.
Let's break down your options into 3 distinct context levels. For a formal context, say writing to a manager or government official, that's 写书语境, you want to open with something like, Dear Store Manager. Use a structured opening like, I am writing to express my dissatisfaction with, and then firmly close with, sincerely or yours faithfully. Now contrast that with the informal context for friends and family, our 非正式语境. You can just jump right in with, hey, say hope you're doing great, and sign off with a casual, cheers. And then we have that slightly tricky middle ground, semi-formal, perfect for neighbors or teachers. Here, you might use their first name, Dear John, and sign off with warmly or thanks in advance. Constructing these frames correctly before you even write a single word of your body paragraph guarantees you're starting off with maximum points.
Moving right along to our second tool, vocabulary scaling strategies, or 词汇升降格策略. Now, having the right email frame is awesome, but using the wrong word for your audience inside that email, like using super casual slang with your boss, is a massive point loser.
Let's look at a really common concept, like something being broken. For a friend, you can use informal, kind of dramatic phrasing, right? Oh man, it completely died. But if you're writing to a company for a return, you must scale that up to precise formal equivalents. You say it is defective or it malfunctioned, 发生故障. Malfunction is exactly the kind of high-level vocabulary the graders are actively hunting for.
Consider another everyday concept, want. Saying I want to get my money back is totally fine for a casual chat, but in a formal complaint, it honestly sounds a bit childish. You've got to scale that up. The formal strategy is, I would like to request a refund. 我希望能申请退款. It instantly elevates your professionalism.
Think about workplace communication and the word tell. Let me know or I'll tell you is incredibly common. Sure, but it's very informal. To elevate this for the test, swap it out for please inform me, 请通知我, or I will notify you.
What about the word get? It is probably one of the most overused verbs in the entire English language. Upgrading this one simple word dramatically transforms the sophistication of your sentence. So, instead of the informal, I got your email, you scale all the way up to the formal, I received your correspondence. 我收到了您的来信. Just that one tiny change shows a really deep command of formal English.
Now, making mistakes and apologizing is a super common CELPIP scenario, but highlight this in your mind right now. Do not just say, I'm so sorry about this, to an official entity. The proper professional way to express regret and protect your formal tone score is to write, please accept my sincere apologies. 请接受我诚挚的道歉.
What about setting up a meeting? You need to shift your tone from a casual chat to authoritative leadership. So, instead of, let's talk about this later, use the much more professional, let us discuss this matter further.
This next one is critical because asking for help is a standard test prompt. There's a huge difference between asking a familiar friend and a professional contact. To a friend, can you give me a hand is perfect, natural idiomatic English. But to a manager, no way. You must scale up to, could you please assist me?
If you ever need to inquire about an incident, you scale up the word happen.
Instead of the informal, what happened with the order, you use the elevated vocabulary, what occurred regarding the order. These words are fantastic score boosters, 提分利器, for the exam.
Finally, let's talk about expressing anger. If a prompt asks you to complain about a terrible service experience, please do not write, "I am super mad." That informal emotion will seriously hurt your score. To maximize your points, express that anger professionally. I am deeply dissatisfied. 我感到非常不满. Or, I am deeply disappointed. You convey the exact same negative emotion, but with total linguistic control.
Okay, we've built our frames, we've scaled our vocabulary. Now we enter the final, most advanced section of our toolbox today, Canadian-style euphemisms, or 加拿大式委婉语.
To really understand why this last tool is so important, we have to talk about the directness trap, 直接陷阱. In lots of cultures, direct communication is efficient and highly preferred. But in Canadian English, particularly in formal or semi-formal contexts, using demanding phrases like you must or I want you to sounds aggressively rude. If you use these on the test, it will absolutely destroy your tone score, literally regardless of how perfect your grammar is. So what's the antidote to this directness trap? Our source material reveals 3 context modifiers. These are our golden sentence patterns, ojim kusing, designed to perfectly soften your requests so you sound polite, professional, and culturally spot on.
Let's break down the first golden pattern. Pattern 1 is, I was wondering if you could, followed by the base verb. Let's look at a simulated application for the test. Instead of aggressively saying, give me a refund, you soften it entirely. I was wondering if you could process a refund for me. It completely removes the demand, right? It turns it into a gentle, highly scored inquiry using the subjunctive mood.
女婿you.
Pattern 2 is just fantastic for workplace prompts. I would appreciate it if you could plus the base verb. For example, I would appreciate it if you could look into this matter. This respectfully nudges the recipient to take action. It shows real leadership and initiative without ever sounding bossy. And pattern 3 is the ultimate tool for Canadian-style scheduling changes or asking for favors. Would it be possible for you to plus the base verb? Imagine you need to change a meeting time with a client. You absolutely don't say, we must change the time. You say, would it be possible for you to reschedule our meeting? It is the absolute pinnacle of professional politeness. Now, why do I absolutely love these 3 patterns? It's their hidden power. By using these exact phrases, you're actually doing 3 things at once. First, you naturally increase your word count with high-quality filler. Second, you are effortlessly using the subjunctive mood, 你需you, which is a complex grammatical structure graders absolutely love to see. And third, you max out your contextual accuracy, 语境chung chue du. You are hitting multiple scoring criteria simultaneously with just one single sentence. How great is that?
As we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with a final, really critical thought to ponder. Are your words matching your audience? Because knowing a lot of English vocabulary just isn't enough. You have to know when to use it. So, the next time you sit down to take a practice exam, I challenge you to actively use this context-switching toolbox. Set your email frame, scale those verbs up, and use those golden Canadian euphemisms. That is exactly how you maximize your CELPIP score. Thanks so much for joining me. 祝大家备考顺利 and happy studying.